Yo, check, 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 check. All right, guys. Is this live? Is this thing on? Can you hear me now? This was really kind of uh, not last minute. Just I didn't plan on doing this, so yeah, working on getting this here live stream set up, and it looks like it's active at the moment. So forgive me for the lack of preparation. Um, yeah. All right. So the situation is this right here, the Lightning H7 flight controller from Flightone. These bad boys have been, gosh, at least probably a year in the works. I think. I wasn't involved in it at all, really, except on July 4th, we were hosting our Freedom Spec race here. And I got home and we had Tiny Trainer racing, and at like 3 a.m. I was completely exhausted, but I saw that Preston had opened up um, pre-orders for these, and as much as I just wanted to go to bed, I wanted to make sure I was one of the first ones to get it. So I put in my pre-order when I was almost completely asleep, and then their email system was broken, so I didn't get a confirmation email. So I literally thought maybe I had just dreamt that I ordered these, but here they are. So apparently I did order them. This is pretty cool. They're pretty nice looking. Actually, I saw a picture of the heads-up gunmetal, and I didn't like the way it looked as much in the photo, but this looks incredible. This looks really, really nice. If you guys are seeing that, get a little up close there. So this is obviously the plugged version. We got plugs over here. There's an ESC plug. I think it's that side is ESC. This side is a plug for your camera and VTX. Cool thing about it is it's made for 20 by 20 or 30 by 30. And yeah, there it is. It came. So I did get a heads up from Preston. Apparently they haven't been shipping the plugged versions, but I begged him to go ahead and ship mine. The reason they haven't been shipping them is because something is awry on the pinout for the cables or something. So I'm gonna have to verify all of those before we give it juice, because something is wrong in regard to the cable pinout. So yeah, also came with these. I assume this is for your receiver. Mine, I guess I didn't order. I couldn't remember if I did or I didn't. I'll have to check my order form. But this plug up here is for your VTX and your camera. I did not order a plug there because I like to direct solder my camera and VTX. I wish that the camera and VTX was in separate plugs, because I would solder my VTX and use a different VTX probably, if I could use a plug for the VTX, but I hate using a plug on both sides of my camera. Essentially, with flight controllers, in my opinion, with the exception of the ESC, I like to have a plug on one side of each component, and not both. So like I don't want a plug on the camera side and on the FC side. So I'm just pulling up in the YouTube stream so I can see if anyone's saying anything. If you've wondered about any of this stuff, let me know what questions you have. I don't, I'm figuring it out too, so I might not have any answers for you, but there's some sort of button there. Now, yeah, so 30 by 30 or 20 by 20. I'm going to run at 20 by 20, and this feels a little sketchy, but we're going to go for it. I'm going to cut off the 30 by 30 mounting. There we go. That seems like it should be first thing to do here. Cool. But this is the heads up FPV version in his custom color. That was a hard drive falling off my computer. Oof. That one I cut a little close. Let's try not to do that again. So this is the new fancy schmancy H7 processor. It's pretty huge. We'll see how it compares to, well, here's some millivolts here. So just to compare, that's an F4 processor, and that's the new H7 holographic sticker on it, but that's what they look like. Yeah, go ahead and get the gummies in. Let's see if, yeah, this typically makes me hate life. Let's find a little piece of wire. It's not that much easier. Oh, it is quite a bit. So like the trick on getting these gummies in is what's the height like compared to the millivolt? Let's check that out. Wow, I hadn't even thought about that, but it is actually significantly, well, significantly if you take the USB into account. That might be a stretch, but there's only plugs on one side, so it's definitely a little thinner, but on the bottom side you still have the USB. Now the USB though is about half of the width of the plugs, so it's about half a plug thinner than the millivolt was. So you can see that there. So that's kind of cool. That is definitely kind of cool. All right, where'd my little snippet of wire go? Here you go. So to get these little soft mount Dealey McDaddles in, you take a piece of wire, you double it over, put it through the hole, then put the wire around the little bushing thing. Gummies, as we call them, I think, is the technical term. Very technical. And, okay, I don't want to take it through sideways. Yeah. So I got it started just so that, okay, I'm wrong. This isn't the easy way. It kind of helps hold it in place maybe, but the problem is as I pull on it, it's wanting to pull the little gummy through sideways, and that's no bueno. So I'm using this little 1.5 mil Dealey McDaddle. Oh, great. The crap have I done? Yeah, I didn't do that right. We'll try it again on the second one. All right. Cool. So gummies. You got to get those gummies going. I thought when I saw all the advertising or whatever for this and like the pictures, I thought it was going to have different size plugs on it than what other flight controllers on the market have. They do appear to be the same plugs, or at least they're the same size. They might be a different I don't know, model or different quality of plug, but it does appear to be the same size. So that's at least a little bit exciting, because if you've got older gear, you know, it should still be somewhat compatible. One thing I haven't checked yet is will like the RX or the receiver plug from the millivolt, will I be able to just plug that into this? Because if I can, that's beautiful, because that means it'll be even easier to upgrade all my millivolt quads to the 7. And then at the end of the day, I'm curious if we're going to notice like a flight characteristic change. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's working. Okay. I'll just turn off the stream now, guys. Nothing to see here. Just an idiot fumbling with his toy electronics. There we go. Yeah, that was actually way easier just to He-Man it in there. All right. So looks like there's 4 of you guys watching. Do you have any questions about this? Mondo wanted to know about the thickness of it. Do you have any other questions that I might be able to answer here in the live stream? Let me know. These are actually, in general, these seem to be a little easier to get in than the old gummies. I'm not even going to mess with that little wire situation because that was a waste. All right. So I got a little work to do on my phone here. Just a sec. It's been a really active fall in the real estate industry. Having a blast, but I haven't been able to tinker as much as I would like, but it's kind of okay because I haven't had the gear. So I've been waiting on these guys for sure. This was like something I was a little panicked about. And then the other thing I'm waiting on that'll be here tomorrow is the Immersion RC Ghost system. So I'm breaking every rule I've ever had about not trying new gear going into a big event. But this year for Champs, I'm going to be running a lot of new gear. So, cool. Here we go. It looks super clean. The design looks clean. I need to figure out how I'm going to get that plug off the front. If I should try to nuke it with with the rework station, or if I should just use side cutters to get it off. Let's see. See if they're small enough. Yeah, not really. I'm a little nervous about putting rework heat to it, so I might just use a little flathead screwdriver and try to be gentle about this front plug. Come on now. Okie doke. Armando got his too. That's probably why I stopped chatting. The mailman came. It's like, screw this, I'll do it myself. Alright. Oh, come on. Get off there. Which is kind of fun because Armando, I think he got his, but he also got, if you don't know, Mondo is Heads Up FPV's fleet manager. So he also got Heads Ups. So that's kind of cool that I got my flight controllers the same day as the guy with his name on it. All right, plug off. So that's one thing I definitely kind of noticed in the pictures that is in person also really impressive is the size of the pads. Those are really nicely sized pads. I'm excited about that. so kind of scraped up one a little bit. All right, I'm gonna pull up, get over here on the computer real quick. I'm gonna find the pinout, and then I'm also going to, excuse me, then I'm also going to put that on the screen so you guys can see what I'm trying to, what I'm working with here. But pinout diagram. There it is. Yeah, these are the updated ones. Save image as quad reason 87 pin out. Cool. Now I can add this to the screen. Like I said, this was super kind of last minute. Ayo. There's just a big old pinout. Cool. Shrink that down a little bit and put it up there, maybe. Okie doke. All right, so now let's figure out what is wrong with this pinout cables and stuff. So here's the ESC cable, and if I looky there. So that's the problem. That's what Mondo said too. The ground and the VBAT cables are swapped, so that's no good. Hashtag how to let the smoke out. So let's get in here, and then actually let me see, how does the other end compare to the hobby wing? Oh, VBAT and ground are wrong on that end too. Or no, the whole thing's wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna have to repin both sides. That's disappointing, but it is what it is. Flight what? Flight Uno. So I typically use a razor blade for these things. I should get like a little what are they called? X-Acto knife would be ideal, I think. But I keep this here razor blade pretty sharp. Now, one thing I'm tempted to do is, you've got these extra wires that come out. I'm tempted to like solder them, and what I'm extra wires. You've got an extra VBAT and an extra ground that come out of the ESC plug that aren't attached to the other side. So I'm tempted to like hard solder them to like my battery leads or something. And the reason is because if this connector ever gets like janked or pulled, then the other end of that, you won't lose power, you know. But cool. So verify this. So the bottom two need to be VBAT. next one is, the next two rather, is ground. And I'm going to be poking around on this flight controller with a multimeter tube, because even though they've checked and re-released updated pinouts, I learned this week that you can't even trust pinouts. If you saw Pyro's post, I had ordered a couple of his flight controllers to test some stuff on that I couldn't do with Flightone. And I got them, and the label on the boards were wrong, and the pinouts were wrong, and I smoked 2 of them. So that was disappointing. Okie dokie. So that end is good to go. The next thing we need to do is we need to get the iron on and hot. This is the quad. I'm going to put it in first. This is it doesn't look super fresh, but these motors are pretty fresh. About a week old. And that kind of thing. So, but this is a quad that I'm going to use primarily for practice for the next few weeks before champs. The other 2 I'm going to fly still, or not the other 2, the other 4 that I'm going to build out. I'm still going to fly, but I'm going to try to be extra good to this one, which I'll have to use a different VTX. But, cute. Okay. Okay, camera plug I can set to the side. Actually, you could have 2 different plugs for your camera plug, but you can't do a plug for the camera and a hard solder your VTX. So just checking some work emails. Nothing there. Okay. Alrighty. Where did it go? Where did it come from? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, wow. Maybe these are different plugs. They are. Okay. These are different plugs. Excuse me. So, these are beefier plugs. Which means you're probably going to have to solder your VTX on this end and wire it up on, use like a regular plug, ESC plug on the other end. So, all right, let's see here. I'm going to check in with the questions real quick. It's thin, especially if getting the no plug version. Yeah, the no plug version is definitely thinner. So that's kind of cool. Going to Mayhem, Logan? No, I'm so disappointed. I will not be at Mayhem, but I will be watching that live stream most of the day tomorrow. So, guys, I'm going to have to sign off of here. I'm going to kind of get into doing this. I'll probably definitely be making a video soon about what I think in general of this whole thing. And give you the overviews, tell you if it's got, different flight characteristics or that kind of thing. But yeah, thanks for checking in. Sorry, this video was pretty pointless. I might delete it, but I'm going to have to get out of here. But guys, thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time on Heart of America FPV. Later.